Depending on when you're watching this video, this could be a really great option for you, or it could just be a dumb smart PC build. What I mean by that is the CPU and GPU combo is a really solid. However, depending on the current market when you're watching this, financially, it may or may not make sense. I'm gonna give you a deep dive of how I came to the realization for each of these parts, as well as some substitutes you can make along the way if you want a similar build with similar performance. It might be a better fit for your budget. Full disclaimer though, Phanteks did send out some of these parts, but it's not sponsored in any way, so I will also show you some alternatives that you can pick as well if you don't like the looks for whatever reason. Starting with the CPU, we chose the Ryzen 5 7600. I just found it on sale on Amazon at the time of buying these parts. I actually, putting everything together, and only paid like $170 to $180 for the CPU. I don't remember. I bought two different CPUs. They were both around that price. Other alternatives though are the Ryzen 7500F, which is around $150 pretty regularly, or you could get the 7600X or the 9600X. It all depends on what the price is at the time that you're looking for those parts. All of those options are pretty close in performance, with the 9600X being the best of the CPUs I just mentioned, and of course the 7500F being the worst, but you can't go wrong with any of those with the GPU options that I'm going to give you later in the video. Now for the motherboard, since this was a white PC build, I obviously wanted to go with a white motherboard. And this motherboard that I picked is one that I've been wanting to try out for a while because it's only $150. It's the B850 Gigabyte Eagle motherboard. It's the micro ATX version, and it looks really good. And the best part about it is for $150, you're getting 4 RAM slots, some really nice VRMs, and a quick release button, which is crazy at this price point for a micro ATX motherboard. Now I know there's going to be some people in the comments, they're like, well, you wasted money on the motherboard, you could have got a B650. Not everybody wants to go price to performance. I personally like to spend a little bit of money on aesthetics and a little bit of money on price to performance. So, I like the best of both worlds. You don't always have to get the cheapest thing every single time. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and that's the hill that I'm willing to die on in the PC world, because a lot of people tend to go one way or the other. I like to be somewhere in the middle. Now, RAM is where you could make or break your PC depending on when you're watching this. I paid around $250 for the RAM that I put in this PC. It's a 32 gigabyte T-Force kit. It's 6,000 megatransfers per second. Really solid RAM. I don't remember exactly what the CL rating is, but it was decent. A lot of people make a big deal out of a lot of things, but at the time of recording this, RAM, you just got to get what you can. I actually made a video not too long ago that you can go check out after this video, where I tested 16 gigabytes of RAM, dual channel versus single channel, and they actually both performed really well in several different games like Battlefield, Cyberpunk, and Fortnite. So if you're planning out your build and you don't want to spend, $300 on RAM, 16 gigabytes is a reasonable option, even going with only one stick of RAM. I don't care what the little goofballs in the comment section say. And unfortunately, SSD prices are climbing as well, and a 1 terabyte SSD is probably going to cost you anywhere from like $100 to $125. That's why I said that this PC build was kind of smart, but also kind of dumb. Just depends on if you want to spend your money or not. And some people are saying that prices are not going to get any better, so you might as well go ahead and get what you want if you can afford it. If you have to go 512 gigabytes, that's okay, and you can add storage later, but I did put a 1 terabyte SSD in this build. It was a Gen 4 SSD from Clev, and I really like Clev. They were a good price to performance before everything went to crap. Thank you, Sam Altman. Now, as I talked about earlier in the video, Phanteks sent out some parts for me. It was mainly for my TikTok account. I just wanted to build this PC and show you what you could build around the $1,000 to $1,500 mark right now with the crazy RAM prices. Starting with the case, Phanteks sent me their XT V3. The XT lineup for Phanteks has kind of been a budget lineup, and for $70, you're getting 3 pre-installed fans with no exhaust fan. They did send me an exhaust fan that I could put in here, and I totally forgot to do it, and I didn't didn't feel like going back and doing it. It's their D25 fans. They're pretty solid fans. You can interlock them and only use one cable for the whole thing, which I really like. And you can actually use the RGB header on the motherboard to connect it all, which is also a really nice touch. I have everything rocking in this blue and white theme because it kind of contrasts with my orange, and I just like that. But you can put it to whatever color you want. If I had one complaint, the RGB on the lights and stuff don't match the T-Force RAM very well. So, you know, I think that's more of just the T-Force RAM RGB being... Of course, my alarm went off, but I was saying I think that's just more of a RGB on the RAM issue. It's not anything major. You could play around with it, try to get it to match if you really wanted. But the CPU cooler, I actually really do recommend this one. It's a solid CPU cooler. Phanteks does a really awesome job of cooling. This is their Glacier 360mm AIO. They have a few different AIOs. This one's actually affordable. It's got kind of a mesh fan thing on the front of it, and it's only like $80 or $90, which is a solid price for a good AIO that can cool pretty much any CPU. So you'll have plenty of room for upgrades, and hopefully AM5 sticks around as long as AM4 has, and you'll have a cooler that will last you a really long time. Now, to power this whole build, I did use an 850 watt PSU. Again, that's a little bit overkill, but you know, if you're going as cheap as possible and you go get like a 600 watt PSU, a Pivia Prestige, which is also available in white, and it's a really nice power supply. Don't get me wrong, it's like $55. It's white, 650 watts. It can power the GPU that we used in this build and a lot of other GPUs. But again, I like to err on the side of slightly aesthetic, slightly future-proof, where I don't have to change everything out. So that's why I went with an 850 watt PSU from Dark Flash. And the Dark Flash PSU is pretty solid from what I understand. It's gold certified. I mean, some people might not like it. I didn't look it up on the tier list, but I've had no issues out of it, and I've used Dark Flash in a few PCs in the past that I've built for friends and family, and no complaints so far. Nothing's blew up, nothing's went bad. So there you go. And it's fully modular, and it comes with white cables. I thought it looked pretty nice without having to buy cable extensions. Now, the last part of the build is the most important, and it might be the most controversial. In a PC this expensive, I only used an Intel Arc B580. Now, I say only used because there are some people that are gonna say I wasted money, and there are some people that are not gonna be happy, but that's why I titled this as a dumb, smart PC build. B580 is good value, even though the white version I paid like $270 for, so 20 extra bucks for the white version. It's still a solid 1440p GPU. Now, as I promised you earlier in the video, I do want to show you a few alternative options if you're looking to save money with this build. Obviously, you could just not do a white PC build, but I do want to show you some other things. So starting with a Pivia Prestige, we already talked about it. That'll save you like 25-ish, 35-ish dollars on the power supply. This is also a really good 850 watt power supply. You just won't have the white cables. The next thing is micro ATX case. The one that I have from Phanteks is only $70, but there are some other options, like this one's saves you $5. That's ITX. There's some other ones like this one. I've never built in this one, but it comes with fans. It'll save you even more money, like 14 bucks. If you're trying to save as much money as possible, you know, and I'll have some of these linked down in the descriptions. This one's only 60. I've seen a couple people building these on Jawa. You can't really go wrong either way with that. And then you can just get a basic air cooler for $17. Cool any of the CPUs we talked about earlier in the video, and even the GPU. You don't want to do the Intel Arc B580, which is probably going to be your cheapest option for a white PC build. You can do like the 9060 XT or the 5060, which will both kind of outperform the B580 when it comes to like 1080p and some 1440p. 5060 with the upscaling is way better than the other two, so you know that's your best bet if you want to spend a little bit more money. Or you could just go up to the 16 gigabyte 9060 XT. Either way, you're going to be fine. And I think the build turned out really nice. If you want to see benchmarks on this, a lot of people in my analytics, they don't watch the benchmarks. So what I'm going to do is make a separate video that I'll put at the end of this one whenever I have it ready, testing the B580 with this CPU specifically, but I'll also put some other benchmarks in there, like with the Ryzen 5 3600, to see how well this GPU actually performs in games that people actually play. And it'll be right here when it's ready.